Good day, everyone. This is Patrick Houston from Houston's Hustle Hobbies. This is a show where I like to talk about all the ways I like to make and save money, because at the end of the day, hustling is my hobby. So, as you may or may not know, I have two main businesses. One is Houston's Home Automation, where I showcase and install smart lights, smart locks, and smart cameras. But my other business is a business called Zenith Transport, which centers around transporting people and packages and a whole lot of exercising. But when things are slow, I like to do Uber and Lyft, and that's what this video is going to be about. The ins and outs, the good and the bad of Uber and Lyft. I'm going to share with you my strategies on how I've been a successful rideshare driver with over 15,000 rides at this point in about 3.5 years. We'll talk about what car to get, we'll talk about how to work, and we'll talk about where to work. And listen closely, because I might put some tidbits in there. So, step one, getting a car. Now, first of all, if you have a car, you need to make sure that car has 4 doors. That's very important. And you got to make sure that that car is less than 10 years old to do rideshare. Now, if you don't have a car, I like to go to capitalautoauction.com. This is an auction in Philly, Washington, and Manchester, New Hampshire. I've did a video about this before, but what you want to do is go into the next auction, and you want to find a car that's less than 10 years old with low mileage. Like this 2022 Hyundai Kona is probably bidding for a whole lot. Yes, it's already $12,000. So we'll find something more reasonable. So I learned that Uber just upped its age of car up to 16 years old. So this 2012 Mitsubishi Galant that's now on auction for $400 is a really good candidate. Of course, you're going to need to do your own maintenance just to get the car up to spec. And you want to make sure you have a look at what's going on with it. Right now it has a traction control light. That might be a sensor or something like that. But you want to make sure that that car is up to snuff. Try to find a car with less than 120,000 miles if you do the auction route. So here's a quick tip. Try to find yourself a 3-row minivan, not the 3-row SUV, because they're less comfortable. Find yourself something like a Honda Odyssey, a Kia Sedona, or this is what I used to have, a Dodge Grand Caravan. You can find these for relatively cheap. This one right here is about $7,000, easily financed on a bank account for about $200 a month for about 3 years. Then you want to sign up for the Uber or Lyft, whatever you want to do, or DoorDash. I'll put affiliate links down below. You don't have to follow my affiliate links. You get money, I get money. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to help. Now, let's talk strategy. Some must-haves that you need to have in the car is 1, a vacuum, 2, an air pump, and 3, tire plugs. If you don't know how to plug a tire, make sure you locate a local tire shop that you can get to relatively easily if something should happen in an emergency, because it will. Might want to look into AAA too, just in case. Oh, a quick aside, try to find a phone mount like this. I don't like the phone mounts on the window because they obstruct the driving view. Try to find one that fits in a cup holder that you can remove relatively easily. Now, speaking of ease of repair, let's talk about location strategy. Now, when you're Ubering and Lyfting, it's best to stay in a specific area. The reason why you stay in a specific area is because, and especially at first when you first start doing this, you want to be familiar with the street, you want to be familiar with the traffic patterns, and you want to be familiar with getting home to eat so you're not eating outside and spending your money that you just earned. So Uber has this preferred area, and basically this is my region, and what I do is just I uncheck all the regions, so I'll only get rides in this one region, so I'll know where everything. And with Lyft is pretty much the same. What you want to do is go to stay within area, and it'll give you this kind of bubble to stay in rather than the region. So you can kind of calibrate this to how far you want to go. The map hasn't loaded yet, but you can kind of calibrate this to how far you want to go. but it basically makes you stay in that area all the way up to 30 miles. And as you can see, 30 miles will get me, if I do that, all the way up to Allentown and all the way down to Delaware, with New Jersey train station in the middle. The things are small. You can get these from any other Lyft or Uber strategy video that's on YouTube. Keep your car clean, be friendly. Now, in terms of what time of day you make the most money, I would probably say it's at night, but I never drive at nighttime because I don't feel like dealing with drunks, I don't feel like dealing with rowdy people, and I don't feel like dealing with riffraff. Try to keep some sort of business hours. I like to keep my hours from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m., right when the people are, right when your rush hours are. Your rush hours are from 6 a.m. to about 9 a.m. and from about 2:30 if school's in session to about 6:30 at night in the wintertime. In the summertime is more like between 3:30 and 6:30. Now with this strategy, I like to work between those rush hour times, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll go ahead and take a break around 10 a.m. I'll make breakfast, I'll work out, I'll walk the dog, I'll take a nap, and I'll jump back in the car around 2 a.m. if I got nothing going on. And then I'll work again till that 6:30 p.m. Now with this strategy, I make about $1,200 a week, so about $5,000 a month is about what I do. Now, if you have a gasoline car, you're going to spend about, I want to say about a quarter of that in gas, especially if you have a 6-cylinder, and don't get an 8-cylinder to do this. If you have an electric car, if you can find a cheap electric car, which they are cheap, and that's the way you want to go, is find an electric car. Your cost for maintenance and fuel is going to go down significantly. You're going to look at more like $200 a month if you're using one of the level 3 quick chargers, or something less like, I want to say about $40 a month if you're using the slower level 2 chargers. Do your own research on EV charging speeds and EV ranges. And again, also, if you have a gasoline car, you need to factor in maintenance, such as tires, such as oil changes, such as miscellaneous things that will break in the car, because all cars break. So last thing before I go work out, these rideshare apps will try to rope you in with some sort of bonus or some sort of extra couple of dollars if you do X amount of rides. For instance, Lyft will have something like, if you do 40 rides, they'll give you an extra $100. These things run like a casino, so try not to fall for that. It's best to sort of run these things like a business. If you chase money, you will burn yourself out. So again, it's best to run this thing like a business. Do what I did. Go get your LLC. Get an app like QuickBooks for $40 a month, so it automatically tracks your miles and links your bank accounts to the app, so you can track your miles and track your earnings that way. This is really important for when it comes to tax time, because you want to deduct those miles so you can pay less in taxes. We'll get into that in a different video. And one last thing about that, picking your area. What you want to do is pick an area with a train station, pick an area with an airport, pick an area with a theme park. Also pick areas where your local public transportation is sparse. For me, I live in the Philadelphia suburbs, and SEPTA becomes sparse in my area, so a lot of people need ride sharing to fill that gap. So that's been my quick and dirty review on the how-tos of Uber and Lyft. Remember, if you use my strategies, it can be the key to your freedom. But if you try to chase money, it'll swallow you up and you'll be miserable, just like any other job. Thanks for listening to me. I've been Patrick Houston from Houston's Hustle Hobbies, and as always, live high, live mighty, and as always, live righteously. Take it easy.